Hello and welcome back to MotoGP 23, and today we're having a little look at the MotoGP Academy. Now this is something that was in MotoGP 22, but I kind of brushed it off as a little tutorial thing and didn't bother with it, but it actually seems like it's a bit of a challenge mode. I mean, I think it is supposed to be a bit of a tutorial, but it gives you different little challenges to do, and it's just something a little bit different to play. Plus, I'm currently waiting for the next live GP race. This is literally straight after that video, whenever that would have gone out. When I had to wait, this is when this is being recorded. So we'll head into MotoGP Academy. So, introduction to the MotoGP Academy. We've got a winter testing Yamaha there, Fabio Quartararo. Thanks to MotoGP Academy, you can discover the secrets of all the official circuits so you can improve your performance on the track. Demonstrate your skills. Every track of the championship is divided into 4 sections with each of its own characteristics. Obtain a medal in each section and put your skills to the test on the full circuit. Aim at the gold. Complete the academy by obtaining all the gold medals and prove you are a true MotoGP legend. So actually it sounds a little bit like Gran Turismo then. I know in that game you have little events to do at certain tracks. So at Portimao we've got Oliveira, I guess that makes sense. Termas we've got Aleix, obviously he won there last year. At Cota we've got Bastianini, probably again because he won there previously. We've got Vinales at Jerez, obviously one of Vinales' better tracks. Le Mans Zarco, fair enough because he's French. Obviously we already saw that Bagnaia was at Mugello. Marquez at Sachsenring, yeah, I guess that makes sense. He is the king of the ring after all. Quartararo at Assen, yeah, probably one of his better tracks as well. Sokol, they've just whacked a random guard here, haven't they? So they've just put Pol for Sokol. For Silverstone, we've got Augusto Fernandez. Now, I was actually looking through the game files earlier, and I did see that his favourite track was down as Silverstone for some reason, so that's probably why they've put him there. Red Bull Ring, we've got Brad Binder, obviously Red Bull rider. Remember his famous win in the rain here, so that does make sense. Catalunya Martin, probably just because he's Spanish. Again, I don't really see much of a connection other than that one. Misano Bezzecchi, I mean, you couldn't really go with Misano without a VR46 rider because just how synonymous they are with that circuit. But again, they've just sort of stuck DJ Antonio here because, of course, it is a new circuit. Then, obviously, for Motegi, we've got Nakagami because he is Japanese. Mandalika, we've got Morbidelli because I think that probably was his best result of last season. I would imagine that's probably why. Phillip Island, we've got Jack Miller, obviously Australian. Chang, we've got Alex Marquez. Again, that just seems like a random choice there because they're running out of people to put at the tracks. Sepang for Raul Fernandez. Again, they'd probably say a similar thing there. Losail for Mir. I guess they're just randomly assigning these at the end, I suppose, because you've got to put someone for each track. And then Valencia, we've got Alex Rins because, of course, he did win there in the previous season. Now, I don't know whether to just go with Portimao, just go through in order, or just sort of start off with a random track and just pick a random track each time, because obviously I would have not long done Portimao. If I do tracks at the start of the calendar, I'm going to get them in career mode, then come back and do them on the academy. So we'll probably just start with a track a bit further down the list. Maybe we could start off with Assen, just see how we get on with that, and then just go from there. Maybe even just go forward from there, then onto Sokol, and just go all the way around and end off with Sachsenring. Just let me know. Maybe I could do a little poll to see which track you guys want to see next. So without any further ado then, we'll head into the Dutch TT here for MotoGP Academy and see what we've got to do. So then, Sector 1, we've got a pretty long description about it there, so we may as well just ignore that one because of course we do know the circuit. So if we look at the target times then, we need to aim for a 30.635. So let's get into this one here. Straight onto the circuit. So we're in the last sector currently. I guess it's just to give us a bit of a run at the first sector. The AI looking pretty aggressive here. Although in fairness, in the MotoGP class, it does look pretty aggressive in general. We'll turn down the traction control because it does seem to help out quite a lot on this game. As I was saying in my first impressions, I did try it out since and we've invalidated the lap already, which is fantastic. I don't know whether that will matter. Probably will. We've probably braked a bit early. Tell you what, I think they might have redone Assen very slightly here. It does seem... that turn 1 did seem a bit different. And this section of the track, it does feel the same, but riding it feels quite different with the new physics model. And obviously Sector 1 does take us all the way out of Strubben, so it's quite a longish sector. I don't know how we stayed on there, because we are using the most difficult... well, actually, I say we're using the most difficult physics level, but I wonder if maybe the assists are on because this is a bit of a tutorial mode, so we'll have a little look. So you've reached the end of the sector at too high of a speed or following the wrong trajectory. I don't think that's true. I think it's just because I invalidated on the lap before, so we'll try that again. And we'll just double check the game experience. Everything seems to be absolutely okay here, so that is fine. I did think it seemed okay, but I just wanted to check the assists hadn't been put on. So we'll give that one another go. Just try not to actually invalidate on the previous lap this time. Although my time also wasn't good enough. It was good enough for silver, but it wasn't good enough for gold. So I have been struggling quite a bit with the track limits on this game, just because I'm picking up the throttle where I think I should, and then the bike's straightening up so much that I'm then going off the circuit, especially in the MotoGP class where I'm just not used to the amount of power, because obviously most of my playtime has been on the Moto 3 so far with all the career mode that I've been doing. Right, hard on the throttle now, up towards the line. What are we going to do there? It's a silver time. We need to find half a second to try and do the gold time. So we may as well give it another go, because really we've got to be aiming for gold on everything. So here we are then. How are we going to do it this time? Ah, literally less than a tenth off that time. So we did find half a second, like basically immediately. But unfortunately, it still wasn't quite enough. We literally needed to find a few hundredths of a second there. I found that most of my time was actually gained into turn 1 on the previous time. How's the AI stayed on there? What? What on earth? That was ridiculous. I think I've done it by quite a bit this time. Up towards the line. 30.3 there. So we pretty convincingly beat that one there by 3 attempts in the end. So heading on to Sector 2 now then. Hopefully it doesn't take me quite as many attempts. Well, Sector 2 is just a straight, virtually. We've got 12 seconds to do it, so at least if I do fail it, it won't take quite as long. Well, it's not quite just a straight, is it? It's got sort of the, like, the... Is it the Ruskin hook? My last been invalidated by the AI. And again, this is actually broken. I can't do it, because... Right, okay. Please don't invalidate me this time. I need to try and do this gold first time, because it seems like the AI does not want me to do it. It's done it again! It's done it again! Well, I'll try and do it anyway. Maybe it'll count, but I doubt it. At least we can have a gauge at the actual time. Also, I need to probably have a little attacking attempt at these corners. So yeah, we did that pretty convincingly. That was quite easy, so as long as the AI doesn't invalidate me, we should be absolutely fine. But I just have a feeling that we'll keep doing that, so maybe I'll have to like try and pause the game or something and stop it from doing that. Right, okay, it seemed to just about do it. I was spamming pause, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Maybe, like, trying to slow the AI down a bit, but either way, it didn't invalidate. Yep, so pretty easily done there. First attempt, 11.9. So on to Sector 3 now then. Hopefully the AI doesn't keep invalidating us for Sector 3. So if we have a look here then, bit more of a technical section. 25 seconds, 25.4 is the time to beat. I must say though, the Ruskin hook is way more fun on this game than it was on MotoGP 22. It was awful on MotoGP 22, but the bike actually seems to flow pretty nicely. You're not losing the front the whole time, basically. So that was a much more enjoyable corner than it was on MotoGP 22. And probably SBK 22 as well, so 23 already ahead of those two games, although to be fair, SBK 22 was not a high bar to pass, was it? I've just realised we've got the wrong traction control setting on here, so that might affect us a bit. And yeah, we did miss out by 4 attempts there. I would say if we had the right traction control setting, we would be fine. So we'll give that one another go. Hopefully we'll get it on the second try. So I did improve there, but I actually validated it. I went on the green, but because I didn't actually come back on the track before it was over, it counted. I assumed it would just take it off me, so I kept it pinned. That's actually a slightly botched time, but even when I cheated, I still beat it. So the time was actually not too bad, but I was quite weak into this right-hander on that attempt. My first attempt was actually better. And that seems to be better than my second attempt, at least. I'm on the wrong traction control setting again. Let's turn it down to 3, because that seems to be about the right setting for me on this game. See through the bolts, carried a decent amount of speed, but I'm still ahead, but it probably will gain a bit through the Mandavine because they've gone on the green on the exit. So there it is, up towards the line now. I think we're going to do it anyway. Oh no, we did improve, but just not enough. So close. Well, that's taken a lot more attempts than I'd be willing to admit. But there we go then, 25.2. We have smashed it in the end. Managed to actually find a little bit of a different technique through the bolt, but actually was pretty slow through the double rights on the lap where I actually got really close, so I could have just probably banked on that one a little bit more. But there we go then, that's Sector 3 done. So on to the final sector, and then of course we've got to do a full lap after this one. So 22.5 is the time to beat. This is a really difficult sector usually because it's just so high speed, so easy to transgress. Might be a little bit better on this game potentially. I mean, it is quite high speed, so that's probably where this game is going to shine, if anywhere really. So here we are then, about to start it. I do like you get a bit of a run up. Allows you to sort of sort your electronic settings out, whereas on the previous one you didn't really get any kind of run-up at all. Down towards the Gert, Timmy chicane, don't cut it. I've done a terrible job of it though. And I have it, I've actually gone on the green. Apparently that counted though, and that was 0.4 quicker. Okay, well I'll take that because I didn't gain 0.4 by touching the green there. That last chicane was awful. So that's what I mean. Some of the times were really easy, whereas Sector 3 was actually really difficult to beat. But there you go then, Sector 4 done on the first attempt, even though it was a little bit suspect. It's fine. I don't know why the track limits seem to be really strict at some parts and not at others. And it seemed more strict when the AI was controlling than when I actually controlled it. But here we go then. Gold for all 4 sectors. So now we need to beat a 1 minute 34.2. Now, I do seem to think it's a little bit of a slow lap time, that, but to be honest, I'm not really sure. Obviously, I don't know how fast it's going to be in this game, but we have done all of the sectors a few times now, so we should be into a decent groove. And again, hopefully I should have a bit of a run up to turn the traction control down, because it seems like on this game, a high traction control setting will slow you down a lot, because you can spin the rear and turn so much better, and it gives you a bit more torque, whereas obviously, like I said before, there's actually not much torque in this game in comparison to GP22. But here we go then, starting our lap of the Dutch TT. That was awful. Last sector, but up towards the line, and then quite easily done that one on the first attempt. Are you joking me? It took it off me because the AI rode on the grass after I went over the line. Well, at least if I just do a decent lap, I know I should fairly easily beat it, but that's a joke. Also, all about the hints like, oh, you reached it at too high a speed or following the wrong trajectory. It's like, no, it's just the lap was invalid because I went off the track, but the AI went off the track after I'd gone over the line. Yet when you actually go on the green at the last chicane, it doesn't penalise you. Very, very strange, but I guess we'll give it another go, but I probably won't show it because I have just completed it there quite easily. I'd say this lap has been a lot better, so this time I'll keep to the right hand side so it doesn't go on the grass. And there we go then, a 32.6. So I think that actually was a decent amount better than what I did on the other lap, because I suppose I did absolutely ruin myself at the chicane on the previous one. The actual overall lap time was pretty slow, but some of those sector times were quite good. I suppose Sector 4 was really slow. Sector 1's was fairly difficult. Sector 2 was pretty slow. Sector 3 was really hard, but the whole lap actually was quite easy. I did it on the first attempt, of course, but the game did invalidate me for the AI riding off the track after I'd already completed it. But there we go then, that's the first episode of MotoGP Academy. Like I did say, let me know what track you want me to do next, because I think it might be more fun to do it in a random order rather than going through an order. Although if you do want me to go through an order, I suppose I always can start from Portimao again. But like I said, I just want to play some different tracks that I'm not going to be constantly coming across in the career mode, as well as I do it alongside that. But if you are new to the channel and do enjoy MotoGP 23 game content, then this is definitely the place to be, because I'll be bringing plenty more over the coming weeks, months, the rest of the year, all the way until MotoGP 24 comes out, which I suppose will be a long time away, with it literally being MotoGP 23 release day as I record this. But like I said, I hope you guys did enjoy that one. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.